a lot of our reactions on the Mets pod were, what do you do? You got to make a move. And the reality is there isn't always a move to be made because teams wouldn't want to just trade their closer at the start of the season because they wave a white flag to their clubhouse. Well, in football, there are some weird circumstances where trading the backup quarterback doesn't wave that saying you're waving the white flag. You could be having a young guy that you're gonna let him play all year and you're gonna see what you have. You could have a backup quarterback that you think deserves to play somewhere else. This is a great opportunity for some of these guys out there right now, and you're going to do right by him while getting an asset back, assuming he might also be on a deal that he's going to walk for nothing after that year. So that's the hardest part, is to dissect all of that right. Now, two guys that are interesting to me while maintaining being realistic, right? Like Matthew Stafford isn't realistic right now. The Rams are trying to win right now. Some people might think that's crazy.
Kick the crap out of Seattle in week 1.
Yeah, I lit him up. He looked amazing. And the Vikings lost, but the Vikings aren't just going to trade Kirk Cousins after week 1. So the now moment to me, when you get away from the scrap heap of guys that aren't on teams, and they're not on teams for a pretty good reason, you look at Jacoby Brissett with Washington, a guy that knows how to take care of the football. He actually ran the Browns offense pretty effectively while holding things down during Deshaun Watson's suspension. Brissett goes to a situation in Washington where Sam Howell has a good summer, and now they need to see what Sam Howell can do during a regular season before deciding if they need to find their quarterback of the future in the offseason or if Sam Howell's that guy. And I understand Washington wants to win. Ron Rivera is obviously in on winning. That is the motivation of that franchise right now. They are not rebuilding. But at the same time, they need to see Sam Howell play. If Sam Howell has a bad week 2 and 3, do they just move to Brissett? I don't know. Nothing would surprise me with Ron Rivera, but it seems like one where at least you make that call because it feels realistic. Then Gardner Minshew on the Colts. The Colts are playing Anthony Richardson, and the Colts did the right thing by going into the season with Anthony Richardson as the starter. And Chris Ballard's in a tough spot because he has to start winning some games. He's been with the Colts for a long time. It hasn't gone well in terms of wins and losses, as respected as Ballard is. They did the right thing by playing Richardson. With Gardner being their backup, Gardner's a guy that has started plenty of games before, another guy that can kind of manage the game. We've seen him do that for Jacksonville. Played a little bit for the Eagles last year when Jalen Hurts got injured. So those are two guys that, Joe, my whole argument, right? My whole argument, you are not chasing the ceiling of Aaron Rodgers. That's gone. Just get it out of your head. It's not good for your mental health. What you're trying to do right now is establish a floor at quarterback that doesn't exist with Zach Wilson. And love him, hate him, want him to do well, don't have confidence, wherever you stand, doesn't matter. This is just a rational conversation. There's a scary low floor with Zach Wilson at quarterback right now. Until Zach shows he can be capable through a long stretch of NFL football of not giving away the game and running the offense, there is a dropout on the floor that can definitely scare you as a coaching staff, where I know Brissett and Minshew, the ceiling is not anything to write. We're not thinking you're winning the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
But you got to get to the playoffs this year. You do. This roster's too good. It's you got to do right by that locker room. And Zach Wilson's going to get his chance. We know Zach Wilson's going to get his chance. But if Zach Wilson fails in that chance over a multi-week stretch, you need to have a floor at the backup quarterback spot that gives everybody else in that team a chance. So, and that's not signing Joe Flacco. That's not signing Carson Wentz. That's not elevating Tim Boyle. That's trading for the Jacoby Brissetts, the Gardner Minshews of the world. I don't even know if that's Colt McCoy right now, right? So they got to make a move, okay? They got to make a real, actual football move that has a floor.
You have to. As you said, you owe it to the locker room and the rest of the team. There's too much talent on the rest of the team to just be like, Trevor Siemian, Luke Falk, whatever happens with Zach, we're just going to lose games and it's fine. This team is too good. They're going to win too many games on the account of their defense, and it's going to beat the crap out of a lot of quarterbacks, and Breece Hall running rampant on people. So even with Zach Wilson, if he's last year's Zach Wilson,